Hello everyone. Let us get back to the more details of vector analysis. Now, the first term vector. So we should be known the differentiation between what is scalar and what is vector. As we know, scalar have magnitude only, whereas the vectors have magnitude along with direction. So let us have a look. Scalar can be defined as a quantity whose value may be represented by a single real number. The examples are distance measured in meters, temperature in degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, mass, density, volume, voltage, and some others can be given which have the magnitudes only. Now, vector. Vector can be defined as a quantity which is having both magnitude and a direction in the space. Now, the space can be two-dimensional, three-dimensional or n-dimensional. Here, the subject is more focused to two and three-dimensional spaces. For advanced applications, we can have modeling of vectors to n-dimensional spaces. The common examples of vectors are force, velocity, acceleration, a straight line from positive to negative terminal of the storage battery, and so on. In this subject, the focus is not just to the mathematical operations but the physical interpretations of the quantities involved for electromagnetic field. Now, the term of the title we have electromagnetic field theory. So what is basically field? The field may be scalar or a vector. Let us have a look to the definition of what is field. The field is defined mathematically as some function that connects an arbitrary origin to a general point in the space. This concept invariably is related to a region. Some quantity is defined at each and every point in this particular region. The example may be given force on a compass needle in the Earth's magnetic field or the movement of smoke particles in the field defined by the vector velocity of air in some region of space. See, the region is specified here. In that particular region, whatever the influence or the role of the object will be there, that particular region we say is field. Now, scalar field and vector field. Let us have a look. The temperature throughout the bowl of a soup and the density at any point in the earth are examples of scalar fields. They don't require a particular direction. They require just the magnitude. For example, how much temperature is there. The gravitational and magnetic fields of the earth, the voltage gradient in a cable are the examples of vector field. Now we know the vector is having magnitude as well as direction. Now what about the mathematical representation of the vector onto the paper? We generally use alphabets in capital to represent a vector along with bar over its head. For example, suppose capital A represents vector, so capital A should possess bar over it. So it is said draw a line or an arrow. Arrow is also permissible over the vector quantity to show its vector character or vector nature. Either a bar or a having arrow over its head. See, when a vector is drawn as an arrow of finite length, its location is defined to be at the tail end of the arrow. Now, if the geometrical representation of vector A is like this, vector A has this particular direction and length from this starting point to ending point represents the magnitude. So the net effect or the vector itself is at the tail end of this arrow. This is always called as source point or start point. This is called as field point or sink point or the tail end of the arrow. This is vector A. Now, several operations can be done with respect to the vectors like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Let us have a look on the addition of two vectors. In the space, if we have two vectors, capital A bar and capital B bar, we have to find the vector addition C bar, which will give you A bar plus B bar. So the vector addition follows parallelogram law of addition or triangle law of addition. First of all, parallelogram law of addition of vectors. For parallelogram law of addition of vectors, we take the first vector as it is. To the starting point of first vector, we align the starting point of the second vector. So this is B bar. Now, from the end points of both these vectors, we draw parallel lines to the another vectors. So this is parallel line to the B bar, this is parallel line to the A bar. This intersect into this point. A vector starting of both the vectors and ending on this intersection point is nothing but C bar according to parallelogram law of addition. In another way, by triangle law of addition, we can take the first vector A bar started at this point, ending at this point. The second vector B bar we have to add with A bar. So we take starting point of B bar at the end of A bar. So this is A bar, this is B bar. Now we have to join the starting of A bar and ending of B bar. This is C bar. This is triangle law of addition. Now let us talk about subtraction of vectors. Again, take the two vectors A bar and B bar. If we have to perform the subtraction like A bar minus B bar, it is like A bar plus minus of B bar. When we have minus sign to B bar, the magnitude remains the same, whereas the direction is reverse. So if this was the B bar, we reverse the direction with the same magnitude. So this is minus B bar. So if we do the addition of A bar and minus B bar, A bar means this one, minus B bar means this one. So we can get A bar minus B bar. So A bar drawn, minus B bar also drawn. Now according to the parallelogram of law of addition, we can have the lines parallel to each other. This is the intersection point, joining it with the starting point. So this gives you C bar. So here C bar is equal to A bar minus B bar. Now talking about multiplication of vector by a scalar. Vectors may be multiplied by scalars. The magnitude of the vector changes, but its direction does not when the scalar is positive, although it reverses direction when the multiplied by a negative scalar. Suppose this was A bar having magnitude represented by mod of A is equal to 2. Okay, if we multiply A bar with x, x is equal to 2. Okay, so x is a scalar multiplied with the vector A bar. So this is 2 into A bar. So the magnitude of A bar was 2. It will be multiplied by 2 to get it equal to 4. Okay, but the direction remains the same. So here A bar can be drawn like this. It has double its length. Direction remains the same. Multiplication of vector by a positive scalar. If the scalar is negative, that time we have to reverse the direction of the vector. Now, talking about division of a vector by a scalar, it is merely multiplication by the reciprocal of that particular scalar, okay, which will reduce the length of that particular vector. Now, to describe a vector accurately, some specific lengths, directions, angles, projections, or components must be given. In other words, we can say that for exact locating or positioning of the vector into the three-dimensional space, we require some kind of system, and that system we can further term as coordinate system. There are three coordinate systems to the syllabus. First one, Cartesian, also called as rectangular coordinate system. Second one, cylindrical coordinate system. And the third one, spherical coordinate system.